Alright guys, today I want to talk about something I've been seeing a lot of lately in the Battlefield community, and that's this weird hostility towards players from other games, especially Call of Duty players. Now with Battlefield 6 on the horizon, we just got past the beta and it was a phenomenal beta. I really enjoyed it. There's a real chance on October 10th when this game releases for it to finally bring in fresh blood and new perspectives. But instead of welcoming those people in, a lot of the community seems to be gatekeeping, mocking, or flat out hating on anyone who doesn't already play Battlefield the right way. And I get it. I get the mindset here, and I get the frustration with those type of players coming in who don't know how to play Battlefield. But instead of pushing them away, we need to do one better, and that is to actually welcome them. Because if we don't, it can seriously hurt Battlefield in the long run. So today I want to break down why the community should actually welcome other players, whether they're coming from COD, Halo, Destiny, or wherever, instead of pushing them away. Now let's be real here. Battlefield hasn't exactly been in the strongest position the last few years. Battlefield 2042 had a rocky launch. Battlefield 5 left a lot of players disappointed. And in general, the franchise has struggled to maintain momentum. Now, if Battlefield 6 is really going to succeed, it needs one thing above all else. And that is players. A thriving community will have full servers, you're going to have actual active lobbies, you're not going to have as many bots, and enough momentum to actually keep the game alive for years. And where are those players going to come from? They're going to come from other games. That means COD players, Rainbow Six players, Apex players, Destiny players, I mean, you name it, from all over. And if we gatekeep and push them away, we're honestly just shooting ourselves in the foot. I think one of the best examples that I can give you guys is the Destiny community. I remember distinctly when Destiny first launched, it pulled in people from all sorts of backgrounds. MMO fans, Halo fans, people who had never even touched a loot shooter before like myself. And instead of mocking those new players for not knowing raid mechanics or for playing a certain way, a big part of what I really remembered and loved about the Destiny community was a lot of the players in there who actually knew how to play that type of game, who actually had experience, taught us who didn't. They made guides, they helped carry us through the raids, and they helped welcome us into the fold. And that's why Destiny had such a strong, loyal fan base even years later. But imagine if the Destiny community had just said, you know what? You weren't here since day one. You're not a real player. The game would have collapsed. But instead, what they did is they built a culture of onboarding and support. Now, Battlefield, I believe, can learn from that. Now, I get it, and I can't admit that I haven't known this, is that COD and Battlefield have always been compared. COD is faster, it's twitchier, it's more arcade-like, while Battlefield is slower, tactical, and all about team play. And there's a natural rivalry there, and they've always had that. But the hate towards COD players coming from Battlefield is honestly just pointless. I have to be completely honest. You see comments, especially on my latest video, that say, stay in Call of Duty and don't ruin Battlefield, and don't ruin Battlefield with your playstyle. But here's the thing, people adapt. Just because someone comes from Call of Duty doesn't mean they'll never learn how to spot enemies, how to revive teammates, and how to actually play the freaking objective, because that's very important, but they can learn. Everyone starts from somewhere. But if we automatically treat those players like they're outsiders, then they're never going to stick around. And if they don't stick around, guess what happens? The community shrinks. Do we really want Battlefield to stay niche and empty? Or do we want it to actually thrive? Having new players enter the game isn't just good for population, it's good for the health of the community. New players bring new energy, they create more content. You got YouTube videos, Twitch streams, montages, guides. You got a whole bunch of hype surrounding that game. And then of course you got the developers bringing in more content because they're also motivated because they're seeing the numbers grow. And that also gives them that sort of drive to keep putting in fresh content. They ask questions, which also leads to better resources being made. And yeah, sometimes they bring over playstyles from other games that actually innovate how Battlefield is played. And remember, the Battlefield franchise itself has evolved by borrowing ideas from other shooters. So why should players be treated any differently? If anything, COD players who come over might learn to appreciate the large-scale battles, teamwork, and sandbox gameplay in a way they've never have done before. And that's how you grow a fan base long term. I think one of the most underrated aspects of a game's success is the culture of that community. I mean, if Battlefield 6 launches and new players immediately get mocked, kicked from squads, or harassed in chats, what do you think is going to happen? Are they going to stick around? No, they're going to uninstall and go back to Call of Duty. But if the Battlefield community sets a standard of welcoming people, actually teaching them how to spot targets, how to use vehicles properly, how to play the objective, those same players will actually stick around. They'll tell their friends, and suddenly you've got exponential growth there. I mean, it's up to us as a community to decide whether Battlefield 6 becomes a welcoming home for new players or just another toxic environment that scares people away. So what can we do about it as a Battlefield community? Simple things. If you see somebody playing the game like Call of Duty, don't trash them. Instead, teach them. If someone asks a quote unquote dumb question, answer it instead of roasting them. Make guides, content, or posts that help newcomers learn. And honestly, just remember that everyone was new once. What if this is the very first Battlefield game they've ever touched because of the hype that was surrounding it? Teach them to become a part of the community and make them a loving part of it. I believe that this is very important because the Battlefield community here has a chance to set the tone with Battlefield 6. Because if we create a culture of welcoming, the game will honestly thrive. But if we gatekeep, it'll die out. It's really that simple. So at the end of the day, Battlefield doesn't need less players, it needs more. And the best way to make sure that Battlefield 6 succeeds in this aspect is to welcome players from every other community. And even if they come from its so-called rival from games like Call of Duty. And I get it, the hatred is there, the rivalry is there, but we need to put that aside. And again, I want to give the example of Destiny because the Destiny community thrived because they embraced newcomers, and Battlefield can do the same. I know it's a totally different genre of a shooter, but still at the same time, it's the best possible example that I could give because it was the least toxic community that I know of and have ever, to be honest, been a part of. But it's up to us to decide whether we want the Battlefield franchise to either grow or wither away. But anyway, guys, that's my take. What do you guys think? Should Battlefield 6 players welcome newcomers, or is gatekeeping somehow, I don't know, a better option? Let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. But anyways, if you guys enjoyed today's video, make sure you guys hit that like button. If you guys are new to the channel, make sure you guys hit that subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the bell to be notified every single time I upload a video. Now with that being said, this is GCP signing off.